Shalom, family. Shalom. Let me get a one in the chat if I'm coming in loud and clear. Give me a two in the chat if I sound like a robot. Trying to make sure the audio sound great. The visuals look good. I want to make sure that the sounds look good, man. All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. And Shalom, family. Make sure to smash that like button, share. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, man. All right. But first and foremost, I want to give call halal abanal Yahweh Baha Shema Mashiach Malak Yahweh Shai. This the brother Matati Aban Ban Yumyun of the Sicarii Dallas sect, as well as the Sicarii D of Dove, man. That's gonna get built up, Lord willing. All right. But today we got a simple topic, this isn't to target nobody, have anybody feel some type of way, but our people we have an issue, right? And it's with money and finances in general. At times, a lot of our people, especially in the world, are very stingy. Refuse to help each other. Some even refuse to ask for help. Right? There are others where they pretty much worship money. All they think about is money. I gotta get the bag. Gotta get the bag. This, that, and the third. Right? And we gonna go into that today, right? Because ever since I came into the truth, I used to see posts and people talking about, you shouldn't be wanting, riches, in this world and whatnot, and it's not going to profit you nothing, all types of stuff, right? But here's the thing, right? Is money the root of all evil? Of course it is, and we'll get into why here in a little bit. But as well as there's nothing wrong with having finances, generating, wealth to pass down to your family, to your children, having a stable job, even going beyond having a stable job, going into business for yourself, trying to at least put yourself in a situation, where being in this captivity is not as cumbersome, or is setting up the next generation to be in a better financial position than you were when you first started, right? And that's really what we're going into. Hence the title. Being in the truth doesn't mean be a bum, right? There's a lot of us, they in the truth, they forsake all reason and whatnot. They go off grid, and hey, look, ain't nothing wrong with going off grid and whatnot. If you can do it, you can do it. All praises, right? But again, there's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting some level of comfortability for yourself, your family, and something you can pass down to your family in the event that you leave this earth, man. That's something that we have to understand. And as well as, we as a nation of people, we talk about buy black, sell black, and stuff like that. That's talking about what? Group economics. You need to have your finances in order to, how can I put this? In order to generate a group economy, right? When our people built Black Wall Street, it wasn't just broke people, it was people putting their money together, circulating amongst each other, generating wealth amongst each other, which is something that a lot of us talk about, but not a lot of our people put that into practice. And that's something that we have to do, man. But let's go ahead and get this started. We're gonna run down, the negatives of money and wanting money, involving yourself with money as your idol, right? Let's go ahead and jump into it. This is the book of First Timothy, chapter 6, and we're going to start at verse 6. Yet true, and this is in the NLT, by the way, yet true godliness with contentment is itself great wealth. Yeshua Yisrael, the water, Yahaba Shem Yashai Barakatah. Brother says, Shalom, brother. Galatians 3 context seems to be justification by works of the law, animal sacrifice. Acts 13:38 through 39 be a good precept. Let me see. Hold on. Salak. Let me see. Salakia. Let me see what you're talking about, King. Acts 13. You said 39, 38 through 39. Be it known unto you, therefore, men and brethren, that through this man is preached unto you the forgiveness of sins, and by him all that believe are justified from all things from which ye could not be justified by the law of Moses. It's all good, brother. It's all good. I mean, you could technically use it in all honesty, but as far as Galatians 3 is concerned, right? One, you have to understand. Let's go there real quick. Let's go this real quick, right? I'm not gonna put it up on the screen because I got my sword right here next to me. Just real quick. So when you're reading Galatians 3, right? There's a couple points to go into. One, a lot of times when you want to quote unquote cut a Christian in regards to Galatians 3, really you could cut them in 15 and 17. Sometimes you don't have to go outside of the book, right? But when it's referring to the promises of Abraham, go directly to the promises. It shows right there that the promises were given unto Abraham, unto Isaac, and to Jacob. That's Genesis 12 through 17, right? Certain sections of there as well, specifically talking about the promises and the covenant and whatnot, as well as when you're talking about the animal sacrifices. The law is indeed our schoolmaster. It taught us things. Of course, we know that the law was only given to the nation of Israel as well, right? It taught us, when we go off, go, to make a sacrifice, be at peace with your brother and things like that. And of course, they're gonna say, "Oh, hey, look, I'll put it to you this way. They do use that to say, see, we don't have to keep the law. But here's the thing, though, right? Because they love Paul. They love Paul. I love Paul too. He's a beloved brother, right? Watch this. Where is it at? Salat. Roman. Hold up. On this. Lord have mercy. Salat. I got you. I got you, brother. Hold on. Because we are indeed, how can I put it? Just to put it simply, are we justified solely by the law? Not necessarily, no, because we have to have the faith in Hamashiach as well. Like it's a faith and works salvation. You need work, you need faith and your works, right? I knew it was three. I knew it was three. Some told me just go to three, but no, I wanted to go to six for some nefarious reason. Where is it? Am I tripping? I know I cannot be tripping. Are you talking about Galatians 3:13? Let me see. Let me see. Da, 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 da. Is that what you referencing, King? Galatians 3:13. Christ hath redeemed us from the curse of the law, being made a curse for us. For it is written, cursed is every one that hangeth from a tree. Is that what you're referencing, King? Let me see. Like use the ways we don't have to keep formerly to biz brothers, same guy as me, absolutely. Verse 11, you say? Okay. Verse 11. But that no man is justified by the law in the sight of God, it is evident, for the just shall live by faith, which is a fact. We're going to live by faith. And the law is not of faith, but the man that doeth them shall live in them. Right? So again, of course, they're going to try to use that to say that we are not, that we don't have to keep the law. Why these people just they want to they don't want to live by the law. Let's just keep it real. Right. But again, could you try to use Acts 13, 38, and 39? You can. It's a stretch, in all honesty. Watch this. There it goes. Galatians, not Galatians, Lord in Christ. Romans 2 and verse 13. For not the hearers of the law are just before God, but the doers of the law shall be justified. So again, and they're probably going to come back and try to say, well, see, just keeping the law is what just no, it's not. You have to have faith and works. These things go hand in hand. That's James 2 and 26. You have to have both. They go hand in hand. Let's see. Just in the Greek shows as obedient to divine law. You see? Look at that. See, you already got the cuts, man. You already got the cuts, King. All right. But does that answer your question before we move on? And verse 11 itself, is letting you know that your justification isn't solely on the law. That's really what Christians tried to put into our mouths. They try to essentially say that we're saying that only the law is going to justify you. No, it's faith and works. But Khan, did I answer your question? Let's see. I'm trying, brother. One of the elders at GMS called me deceitful over. Oh man, hold on. Let me read that Acts 13 again. Hold on. I'm trying to. How they gonna call you deceitful off of that? Let me see. Acts 13. Be it known unto you, therefore, men and brethren, that though this man is preached unto you for the forgiveness of sins, and by him all that believe are justified from all things from which ye could not be justified by the law of Moses. Uh, I can kind of see how they would say that, but here's the thing, though, right? There's ordinances and statutes in regards to sins unto death, right? Those are things. Hey, look, you break that law, you got to die. Let's just be real. But with that grace and that mercy through Humashiach, that's where we attain those forgiveness of those laws, right? That's how we got that forgiveness of sins. So as far as I don't get how they would say that you're deceitful for it. I can't see it. It might have been how you worded it to him. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know how that can be deceitful. Personally, I wouldn't go to Acts 13:38 through 39 to show that it's that we have to keep the law. Um, like I said, I would much rather go, directly Romans 2 and 13, and other verses showing, quote unquote, in the New Testament, more Pauline writings showing that we do have to keep the law. Hell, Paul in Romans chapter 7, verse 1, he said he's speaking to them that know the law. That lets you know who his audience is, right? But any more questions, brother, before we move on into the lesson? All praises. But yeah, man, let's get into this, man. Let's get into the lesson, man. Right? Because again, you're gonna have some brothers saying, trying to obtain money, it's not good for you. Well, let's go on to these arguments that they make real quick, right? The book of First Timothy, chapter 6, and we're gonna start at verse 6. Yet true godliness with contentment is itself great wealth, right? Let's look at this word contentment. Let's see what that means. Let's see what this means. Contentment. Autarkia. I ain't gonna lie, trying to pronounce Greek gives me a headache. I ain't even going. Let's look at this word, right? A perfect condition of life in which no aid or support is needed, sufficiency in the necessities of life, mind contented with its lot, contentment. So being okay in the position that you're in, right? You know, if you in a you may not be the richest person in the world, but are you content with the things that you have? Sure. You're appreciative. One of the greatest things that I learned in the world, I was what, like 16, 17, you know, with the young lady that I was dating at that time at that age. Her mother told me, you know, don't seek to be rich, right? Seek to be comfortable, right? You know, not all the time is having riches the thing that you really want. What we're really after is a form of comfortability, and that's really what we're attempting to obtain. We want to be comfortable in the life that we in. We want to be comfortable, you know, in our endeavors, right? Let's read that again. Yet true godliness with contentment is itself great wealth. After all, we brought nothing with us when we came into the world, and we can't take anything with us when we leave it, which is true. All of our earthly possessions, we didn't come into the world with it, nor can we leave with it, right? Verse 8. So if we have enough food and clothing, let us be content, which is true. You don't always have to have an overabundance of things. You don't have to have the nicest car, you know, the dopest house, the best job, whatever it is. You have to be content with the possessions that the Most High gave you and be appreciative of these things, man. I'm pretty sure more often than not, a lot of us as kids growing up, we probably done heard from our parents, "You don't appreciate nothing that I give you. You an unappreciative little child," or something to that effect, right? Which is true. A lot of times kids are unappreciative of the things that we have. Israel, as a nation, was unappreciative of the beautiful things that the Most High gave us, right? That much is evident. Look at the condition that we in. We wasn't content with the things that the Most High provided to us, right? But again, let's read verse 8 again. So if we have enough food and clothing, let us be content. You have to be content with the things that you have, right? Before you try to, you know, expand, appreciate what you have first. Verse 9. But people who long to be rich fall into temptation and are trapped by many foolish and harmful desires that plunge them into ruin and destruction, which is all the more true. You have a lot of our people, quote unquote, doing what? Chasing the bag, getting after the money, things of this nature, man. Aiming to be rich. Granted, that want and need is from a drive of wanting to get out of a horrible condition that they're in or that they've been in their entire lives. And they're willing to do almost anything to get out of that situation, i.e., longing to be rich. And that longing for them to be rich, they fall into temptation and are trapped by many foolish and harmful desires. What does that look like today? Trapping out the bando, you know, banging on somebody, killing somebody for some money, doing some behind the closed doors. What are you going to do for this promotion? What you going to do for this record deal? What you going to do to get this part in this movie? Right? OnlyFans. That enough said there. Twitter, enough said there. Right? A lot of our people do a lot of sick and depraved things just for money. And what happens to them? They fall into that temptation and they're trapped in many foolish and harmful desires. And they're ruined for it. And they're distraught by it, right? And that is something our people most certainly need to get a better mind frame about, right? Not all the time is it the money. It's our people and their lust for money that is the issue. And wanting an overabundance versus them being content with the things that is given to them. Verse 10. For the love of money, not money itself, but the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. And some people craving money, again, craving money, have wandered from the true faith and pierced themselves with many sorrows. there's a old expression. The man who has everything has nothing at all. What does it mean? Yeah, those were people who did everything they needed to get to the back, stepped on people, killed a few people, embarrassed themselves, degraded themselves, all for the sake of money. And then when they're sitting by themselves in this nice fancy house, got the nice cars, this, that, and the third, when they're sitting by themselves, you know what they got? Nothing. And what do I mean by that? They got the car, they got the nice couch, you know what I'm saying? They got the nice kitchen with the island and whatnot. They got a closet the size of a two-bedroom apartment. They got all these nice things, but what do they not have? They don't have real friends. They don't have loved ones to share these things with. They have everything around them, but they empty on the inside. Why? Because they love that money. And they've been pierced, and now they have many sorrows. So again, it's not necessarily the money that is the issue, but it's our people's infatuation with the money and the accumulation of money, right? There are ways to attain money and utilize it to put yourself in a better position, of course. But there's also that slippery slope of being infatuated with the accumulation of money, right? Let's move forward. Boom. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 115. We're going to start at 1 and read to 4. And this is in the NLT. Not to us, O Lord, not to us, but to your name goes all the glory for your unfailing love and faithfulness. Why let nations say, where is their God? Our God is in the heavens, and he does as he wishes, which is all facts, because he's him. Yahweh is him. He's the guy. Understand that. Ain't nobody beside him. Everything is beneath him because he is on the top. You feel me? He's him. He's that guy. All right. Understand that. Shalom, Malak, y'all. What's up? Right? Let's read that. Let's read that again. Our God is in the heavens, and he does as he wishes. I can think of a few reasons to pull that as a precept. When people try to talk that smack, I'm gonna pull that on a Muslim or something, or somebody of a different ideology. I'm like, hey, look, your God ain't nothing. All right, we're gonna talk that smack when it comes to the Most High God, Yahweh. We're gonna talk that smack. Don't disrespect it. All right. But verse 4, and this is where, and I've seen a couple brothers go use this as a means to say, the people's gods are money, which in some semblance this is true, right? Let's read verse 4. Their idols are merely things of silver and gold shaped by human hands. What's the context? People saying, where is their God? But again, these people that say that their gods, their idols are made of silver and gold, precious metals. What is silver and gold also used for? Used for transactions, used as monetary gain and things like that. That's what these things can be used for, right? That's right. That's right, Malaki Alsop. That's right. That's right. But again, I've seen brothers, go here to say, see, these people, gods is their money. They're not completely wrong. They're not. Let's turn it into today, right? What do our people worship? Not just our people, but all over the earth. What do our people worship? That money. They worship that money, man. They go after it so much, they need it so much, it propels their very existence, right? And one thought, when I was a kid in middle school, and I ain't gonna lie, I was a pretty weird kid in middle school. I did a whole project on how I would take over the earth, and I wasn't joking. Like if I had the funds, and if I had the funds and I never found out about the truth, I would have did it. I'm not even gonna hold you. I would have did it. It was a great and excellent plan. All right. It was gonna be fantastic. Okay. But one of the driving thoughts behind it was, why is it that quote unquote humans, again, this was me in middle school, not knowing anything about the truth. I thought to myself, why is it that on this earth, humans are the only species that have to pay to live on this earth? And I still ask myself this question to this day. It makes no sense to have to pay to live on this earth, right? It should be, funds should be used as a bartering system, sure. As a means of transactions to trade goods and things like that, absolutely. But money is so heavily ingrained into the existence of people on this earth. We have to pay for money, or not money. Actually, no, you do have to pay for money. And it was said as a joke, but it's true. Every time you go to if you go to the ATM and you get charged the ATM transaction fee, you paying money to get your own money. So in some instances, you have to pay money to get money. All right. And as well as you have to pay for water, you got to pay for electricity, right? You have to pay for, in a sense, basic necessities. And especially here in this place called America, it's illegal for you to be self-sufficient. So if you become self-sufficient, you might get taxed. You can't be self-sufficient outside of the rulers that be. Why? Because they rule with one of the things that they rule you with is money. And they make sure that we are depraved of it so much so and advertise that you need it to survive. And that's what drives our people. They say, man, I gotta survive. I gotta get this money. It's used as a survival tactic, right? But like y'all said, that's correct. Interest and taxes, right? And again, here's another brain splintering joke that I've heard, right? When paying your taxes is just paying your yearly subscription to the country that you live in. Childhood was the free trial. Let that simmer. But again, these people's, their idols are merely of silver and gold. Today, the idol that they use, and they make sure that everybody chases that dollar bill, that thing that says "In God We Trust," that's that idol. So again, as far as what this is really speaking about, this is talking about actual idols made and laden with silver and gold. You can also apply that to money as well, right? Let's read a little bit further. They have mouths but cannot speak, and eyes but cannot see, which on our money, who's printed? The slave master. They got eyes and they got mouths, but they can't see or speak. They have ears but cannot hear, and noses but cannot smell. That's tendered on almost every currency in the earth. There's generally at least one historical figure, political figure that is on some form of currency. These things have been made into idols, right? They have hands but cannot feel, and feet but cannot walk, and throats but cannot make a sound. And those who make idols are just like them, as well as all who trust in them. Our people trust in that money so much so that they go kill for it, strip for it, make adult videos for it, right? Degrade themselves for it, disrespect their parents for it, leave their kids for it, abuse their kids for it, abuse and harass the father of their children for it, and vice versa, abuse the mother of their children and their children for it. Our people will do all types of wicked and dark things just for that money. And again, it's not necessarily the money that's the issue. It's our people's sick obsession with attainment of money. Sell you out for it too. Right? What was that? There's a song that Future made. It was a little skit. He said, "We getting paid to snitch now." You remember Ron? 40 years. 500,000, 40 years. I'm probably misquoting, but again, people get paid to snitch now. Right? People getting sold out for these things. Why? Because they have that sick love of money, right? Again, it's not the money that's the issue. It's what our people view and idolize with the money. That's the issue. Watch this. This is the book of James, chapter 5, and we're going to start at verse 1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Now, this is talking about those who, are rich. And again, there's some brothers that are in the truth that are actually rich. They have a nice abundance of health, of wealth and whatnot, and they have riches. But the difference is they do not have a sick love of money, right? They have these things, they've accumulated these nice things, but they put the Lord first. They put the Most High first, right? That's the key difference. They don't put the money first. They put the Most High first. And of course, they even thank the Most High for the things that they've gotten in this earth, right? Verse 2, your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth-eaten. Meaning these riches, they're going to rot. They're going to eventually rust. They can burn. You can have moths come in and tear through your riches. They can eat through that paper money. You can have you a $10,000 Gucci shirt. I don't know if there's a $10 Gucci shirt, but I'm pretty sure there is one. Like look, the price of clothes for designers, I will never, I repeat, I will never understand who in the hell will pay $500 for a pair of shoes. And yes, I am saying that I'm getting at all you Jordan sneakerheads, man. I'm getting at all y'all. All right. Some of y'all actually use that as a trade. I'll make that a business. That's cool. I can't pay that much money for something that's gonna go on the ground. I can't do it. Right. I can't do it. Right. Especially they're gonna get dirty. I gotta keep them in the case and whatnot. I can't do it. Me personally, I'm a Chuck Taylor and Vance type of guy. That's just me. Every once in a while, if I got the funds and I see a pair, I might give me a pair of J's. You know what I'm saying? I might give me a pair of Forces, some Flights. I don't know yet. I might give me some Dunks. I don't know yet. Right. But as far as repeatedly getting them and having that assortment, don't get me wrong, they look fly. I'm not gonna hold you. They look dope. I've seen some sick colorways, right? But I'm not about to consistently pay that money for it, right? These things are, they can be destroyed, right? They can be lost, they can be stolen. I'm not about to put money into that like that. It's just not me. But if you got the funds to do it, hey man, more power to you. All right. More power to you. Okay. But let's read 2 again. Your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, they've rusted, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days, which a lot of people do. Well, I need to gather all this, because when times get hard, I'm gonna have all the money I can pay for my bills, this, that, and the third, yada, yada, yada. Look, it's gonna come a time and day that money ain't gonna do nothing. If inflation gets high enough, money will be worthless. Then what are you gonna do? That 100 mil that you had in your bank account that you've been stacking all your life is now worthless. What you gonna do with it now? Right? You better invest in something that's tangible. But even if you do, again, what's it gonna do with you? What's it gonna do for you in them days when none of that's gonna matter and it's straight survival mode? Absolutely nothing. Right? Exactly like Venezuela. Absolutely right. But yeah, a lot, and that's they trying to prepare for them last days. Them underground bunkers and shelters and things like that. They pour a lot of money into that. It's cool until somebody find out where you at, and or when some mighty hunters of the Lord are sent out to find you. Right? What did oh my God, what's sis name? From the Fugees. How I forget sis name? I should be. I'm about to slap myself. How I forget that beautiful sister's name? Lord in Christ. I should be ashamed of myself. I cannot believe I forgot her name. But again, I'm gonna find you. You feel me? It's gonna happen. Lauren Hill. Jeez, goodness, man. But yeah, man. That's what a lot of people are doing. I won't say a lot of our people. But those of us that, are so concerned with the last days and trying to accumulate wealth and treasure for that day, it's not going to do you any good, right? Maybe for like a hot second, but outside of that, no. Verse 4, behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which of you kept back by fraud crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. What's this talking about? Aren't we them workers? We them workers, ain't we? We out here working in the field, the work field, the actual field, whether it be military, police force, or an actual farm field. We doing our best to work, but as employees, we are held back by the fraudulent how can I the fraudulent processes of this I don't want to say just the economy of but of corporate America. We're held back by that, right? What's the old expression? Boss makes a dollar, I make a dime, right? And it's exactly how it goes. We're paid just enough to barely survive. Just enough. Just enough, right? And of course, they talk that sweet talk, make you feel like, oh, well, this job is like a family and this, that, and the third. Try to keep your spirits up, give you a pizza party, or we'll give you, a 5-cent raise, something like that. We're being kept back by fraud. We can't thrive in that, man. Right? And we're being kept in a lower state because of it. And there are those of our people, I don't want to say that they do this purposely, but I'm pretty sure there's some of our people that do this, and it's their own people that's being kept back by that fraud, man. Again, it's not the money itself, but it's the love of the money that our people have, right? Malachi is a powerful precept. Though they dig, Amos 9:2, though they dig into hell, thence shall mine hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. You see, you can try to stack your chose up, until you feel like you want the top, you want you God, but guess what? You're gonna get brought real low real quick, right? Verse 5. Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanton, ye have nourished your hearts as in a day of slaughter. There's some of our people living deliciously right now, right? Not a care in the world. They did what they wanted to nourish their hearts, so that way they can be happy and take the pleasures of this earth, man. Right? Now, I'm not now again, that's not to say that you can't enjoy yourself in this earth. That's not what they're saying. We'll cover that a little bit later on as well, right? But again, there are those people that do this, and of course, we know the heathen do this. Them the real rich ones, all right? They're gonna get brought extremely low, right? And then move with verse 6. You have condemned and killed the just, and he doth not resist you, right? And that's exactly what these people with riches do, man. They condemn and kill the just. They do it to this day. Even our own people, they'll kill each other, defraud one another, just to get this back. So that way they can do what? Live in the pleasures of the earth, man. So that way they can feel good about themselves, right? But yet at the same time, they're setting themselves up for failure, right? Watch this. This is Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 15. The sword is without, and the pestilence and the famine within. He that is in the field shall die with the sword, and he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour him. But they that escape of them shall escape, and shall be on the mountains like doves of the valleys, all of them mourning, every one for his iniquity. Right. So of course, this is talking about us being punished, in the day of Babylon coming in, destroying everything. A punishment that a punishment that we deserve rightfully. Verse 17. All hands shall be feeble, and all knees shall be weak as water. They shall also go, it's a lot. They shall also gird themselves with sackcloth, and horror shall cover them, and shame shall be upon all faces, and baldness upon their heads. This is, us, Jerusalem being sacked, we in Babylon taking over right now. We being carried away into captivity, right? And there's gonna be times coming close to this, right? We coming back to this time again. Watch this, verse 19. They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. We don't cast our money in the street; it's gonna be worthless, right? Those things that we got with those riches, those things that we think mean something, they cost a lot of money. We're gonna cast some things to the side. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of wrath of Yahweh. And it's not. I guarantee you, there's gonna be some of our people like, oh, just take all this money, take this jewelry, just let me be, just let me be. That ain't gonna do nothing for you. It's not gonna do nothing for you. Our people's sick infatuation with money ain't gonna do nothing for them in that day, right? Let's finish this. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it was the stumbling block of their iniquity. Right? It's not going to do nothing for them in that day, man. Right? The only thing that is going to do is set them up for failure. Right? Did I move I did move it. I rearranged it. It's all good. But yeah, man, our people gonna be casting these things into the streets, and then people gonna be trying to offer bribes, man. Look, man, just let me be here, man. I'll pay this, I'll pay that, I'll do this. Like, nope, it ain't gonna happen in that day, man. It's not. It didn't do anything in this day, and when it come back around, it's not gonna do anything in that day as well, right? Except make you look foolish. That's really it. It's all it's gonna do is make you look foolish. Because this is the book of Second Chronicles, chapter 31 and verse 6. And concerning the children of Israel and Judah that dwelt in the cities of Judah, they also brought in the tithe of oxen and sheep and the tithe of holy things which were consecrated unto Yahweh their God, and laid them by heaps. Now, why do we go here? The reason for coming over here is, I've also heard the argument, I've seen it plenty of times. What's going on with hold up? Wait a minute. Something ain't right. What's going on? Okay, there it goes. Okay, yeah, I don't know what that was right there. So like, I don't know if the audio was going through or what. I just looked at my phone. I saw the screen was blank. Let me read that again. Second Chronicles 31 and 6. And concerning the children of Israel and Judah that dwelt in the cities of Judah, they also brought in the tithe of oxen and sheep and the tithe of holy things which are consecrated unto Yahweh their power, and laid them by heaps. Now, again, why do we go here? I've heard many a times, many times, seen it on Facebook, brothers and sisters saying tithes isn't money, tithes is, fruit, oxen and things of that nature, which they're not wrong. Paying, when you deliver your tithes, it is to be, if I'm not mistaken, the 10th part of your increase, whether it be, whether it be produce, whether it be, your livestock, whatever it is, that 10th part, that's what you are to tithe. That's what's to be put into the storehouses. That's absolutely true. But they forget that these things can also be turned into money, right? Because what happens when an Israelite doesn't have those things? Then what? How are they to tithe? With money. Watch this. Let me make sure the thing ain't trying to do the funky chicken again, because that was weird. And okay, cool. It's not doing the same thing. All right, bet. Yeah, watch this. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 14 and verse 22. We gonna go to the law, right? Thou shalt truly tithe all the increase of thy seed that the field bringeth forth year by year. Okay, talking about the things that you grow. And thou shalt eat before Yahweh thy power in the place which he shall choose to place his name there. The tithe of thy corn, of thy wine, and of thine oil, and the firstlings of thy herds and of thy flocks, that thou mayest learn to fear Yahweh thy power always. Verse 24. And if the way be too long for thee, so that thou art not able to carry it, or if the place be too far from thee, which Yahweh thy power shall choose to set his name there, when Yahweh thy power hath blessed thee, then thou shalt turn it into money and bind up the money in thine hand, and shalt go unto the place which Yahweh thy power shall choose. You can turn these things into money. You can tithe money. It's not that difficult. Again, I've seen plenty of brothers and sisters try to make the contention that tithes is not money. It is the first yield of your increase. Absolutely. Like we read earlier in the chapter at verse 22. But again, it can be turned into money. That's in the law. Point blank, period. Right? Let's take this even a step further now. Right? Watch this. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 6 in the NLT. Then the Lord said unto Moses, suppose one of you sins against your associate and is unfaithful to the Lord. Suppose you cheat in a deal involving a security deposit, or you steal or commit fraud, or you find lost property and lie about it, or you lie while swearing to tell the truth, or you commit another such sin. If you have sinned in any of these ways, you are guilty. You must give back whatever you stole, or the money you took by extortion, or the security deposit, or the lost property you found. You see that? And it goes even further. Verse 5, or anything attained by swearing falsely, you must make restitution by paying the full price plus an additional 20% to the person you have harmed. On the same day, you must present a guilt offering or a trespass offering, right? Again, we deal with money in this truth, man. It's in the law. There are ways to go about dealing with money, right? So don't ever let nobody try to tell you tithes is just, the 10th part of your increase. If that's what you have to give, sure, absolutely. By all means, go ahead and bring that homemade oil, that homegrown corn. I'll take a lamb. I don't got no space for it. I'll call him Choppy. He's a lamb and his name is Choppy. Why? He's gonna be some delicious lamb chops at one point. All right, understand that. But again, just like we have laws governing what to do in regards to money as well. Granted, this one is more specific on if someone steals from you, finds lost property, and stuff like that. But there's laws governing how we're supposed to utilize it, and as well as make restitution and things of that nature, right? So don't be scared to deal with money. Again, money is not the issue. It's our people's sick love of money. That's the issue, right? And it's also the misuse of money as well, is what goes along with it. Watch this. This is one of Malak Tazadak's favorite scriptures. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 12. For wisdom is defense, which is true. Having wisdom is most certainly defense. And money is a defense. Now, what does that mean? Money most certainly can be a defense. You come up on a situation where you have to, pay something that you weren't prepared to. If you got the funds for it, okay, you just defended yourself from, being in the rears, man. Being put into a predicament that you don't want to be in, right? It can be a defense for many things. You can help a brother out, a sister out, a loved one. You can start up a business for yourself, for you and your community, right? You can build a fund to help protect your people, whatever it is, man. Money can be used for a lot of good things. And again, the only issue is our people's mindset, use, and covetousness of money. That's the issue. Let me read Ecclesiastes 7:12 again. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it, which is a fact. If you have knowledge and you have wisdom, you're gonna know what to do with money, right? You're gonna know how to not let it control you, take over your life, and fall in with everybody else that has this sick obsession with money, right? And so-called, blacks, Hispanics, and natives, especially so-called the African American Negro. We look. I'm gonna show you a Google search that I did, and when I tell you that I was saddened by it, I couldn't even make jokes. Like I was trying to lighten myself up and make some jokes. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. Right. But we'll get to it in a second. Right. Watch this. Now, what we about to read is the book of Sirach, chapter 14. Now, we'll say this: if you want to cut somebody, without full context, go ahead, read it straight out of the KJV Apocrypha. If you got it, it says, verse 3, it says, riches are not comely for a niggard, right? We're gonna get, what it translates into. But if you want to use that, for purposes, go ahead and use it. But we're gonna get, we're gonna get right into it. Watch this. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 14. And let's start at, we're just gonna start right at verse 3. Watch this. It is not right for someone who is selfish to be rich. That's that riches are not comely for a niggard. It's talking about someone who is selfish and they have riches. What use is money to a stingy person? If you deny yourself in order to accumulate wealth, you are only accumulating it for someone else. You see that? What's the point of you doing so? Right? If you deny yourself the things that are actually, necessary to your well-being, as well also walking in order with the most high God, you sitting here chasing all this money, doing this, getting the bag, getting the bag, getting the bag. The only thing that you're doing is making some more money for someone else, right? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native, we have the largest buying power in America, but yet we are among the poorest economically. How is that? Because we want to buy everything. We want to, quote unquote, keep up with the Joneses, but we're not accumulating no wealth for ourselves as a community, or to set up inheritances for our generations, right? And watch this. Others will use your riches. Hold on. Others will use your riches to live in luxury. You mean to tell me that the house of Gucci, Fendi. Wait, I think that is Fendi. Isn't Fendi brand? I don't think she owns the whole brand. I think she just has a sub brand in that. But your Louis Vuitton, your Marc Jacobs, what are the what's that? What's Michael Kors? Shoot, all these quote unquote name brands, right? That's not getting you no wealth. You spending your money on these products to make someone else rich, but at the same time, you're appearing to have money and you are stingy with your own funds that you refuse to help loved ones, friends, or build up an inheritance for your children. See, others will use your money to live in luxury. How can you, verse 5, how can you be generous with others if you are stingy with yourself? If you are not willing to enjoy your own wealth, which a lot of our people don't, they don't want to enjoy their own wealth. It's our people love that instant gratification. That is really what they love. They love that instant gratification, that now satisfactory, if you will. Right? Verse 6. No one is worse off than someone who is stingy with himself. It is a sin that brings its own punishment. When such a person does something good, it is only by accident. His selfishness will sooner or later be evident. A selfish person is evil. He turns his back on people's needs and is never satisfied with what he has and will shrivel up a person's soul. You can't tell me that that's not our people, man. You can't tell me that it's not. Our people are never satisfied. Like, oh, I need more. I need more. I gotta get it. I gotta get the bag. I gotta get this. I gotta get this new Balenciaga. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get the new Bugatti. I gotta get this Aventador. I gotta get this. I gotta get that. I need this. I need that. So all the hoes love me and all this and that. Like, no, bro. No. And our people will turn their back on their own just to do it. Hell, our people will kill each other just to do it. Right? The things that our people do just to obtain money. And what will it do? It shrivels up their soul, man. It shrivels up their soul, right? Verse 10. Some people are too stingy to put bread on their own table. Bruh. I only read like verses 3 through about 7 when I was originally putting this together. What? Verse 10? Oh, snap. Hold on. Let me read that again. Some people are too stingy to put bread on their own table. Our people would rather starve or they'll rather, you know, give sustenance to the people in their own household or help out around the house than that's a heavy hitter. Oh my God. That's hey, look, I know a couple people like that, man. That actually hit heavy. That hit heavy. Shalom, tribe of Issachar 777. Right, verse 11. My child, treat yourself as well as you can, and bring worthy offerings to the Lord. And again, this is now we're about to get into the discussion of things that things that be okay with money when you're not greedy like that, when you're not selfish like that. Verse 12, remember that death is coming for you someday, and you haven't been told when that will be. We don't know when we're going to die. Before that day comes, be kind to your friends. Be as generous as you can. Don't deny yourself a single day's happiness. If there is something you want to do and it is lawful, go ahead. You want to take a trip down to Austin just cuz? Go ahead. You want to show the missus, that you still that romantic heartthrob that she met all those years ago. You know what I'm saying? Send her out on a spa date, with her friends or her moms. You feel me? You clean up the entire house. And fellas, I'm giving you game right now. I'm giving you game right now. I'm just letting you know. Take notes. All right, just take notes. All right, you want that fourth child, man? You want that PS5? Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? You want these things, man. Watch this. If you got the funds for it, you know what I'm saying? If it's lawful, go ahead. Ain't nothing unlawful. Send your girl, tell her and her mama, go on a nail spa day. You know what I'm saying? Clean up the whole house for her. You feel me? While she out, spending the money that you gave her and whatnot, and then, while she gone, you know what I'm saying? Set up the dinner table, cook a little nice little, you and her dinner, so get some rose petals, put them on the floor, run a bath and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's lawful. And guess what? It utilizes money. It is what it is. You want to buy yourself a PS5, you need to get yourself a new phone, a new car. You got the funds to do it, and it's not gonna hurt you. Go for it, man. Right? There's nothing wrong with doing these things, right? The issue is when you begin to allow those things to make you want to accumulate more money, right? You jump in a gun. You jump in a gun. Oh, well, yeah, try with car. You're not really jumping the gun too far. You're not. You're not. You're not. Well, you know, you close though. You close. You in the right chapter. We getting there. We getting there, Rock. I promise. But let's read that again. Verse 14. Don't deny yourself a single day's happiness. If there is something you want to do and it is lawful, go ahead. Someday all that you have worked for will be divided up and given to others. It's called, giving an inheritance. It happens that way. So be generous, but also be willing to receive from others. Enjoy yourself, for you will not find any pleasures in the world of the dead. The human body wears out like a piece of clothing. The ancient law decrees that we must die. Human beings are like leaves on a spreading tree. New growth takes place of the fallen leaves while some of us die. Others are being born. Everything made by human hands will decay and perish along with the person who made it, which is all true, right? It's absolutely all true. But again, if it's lawful, go ahead, man. If you got the funds and the finances and you trying to go get yourself a house, go get you that house. All right? Go get that house, man. If you got the funds and the finances and you want to move, out in the country, go get that farm and go get that farmland, man. Go get it. If you got the funds, you worked hard for it, it's not gonna put you in the ribs and you want to surprise your rib with a new car or some shit been asking for, go do that, man. Go do that. And sisters, if you got the funds, then it's okay. And the head of your household, he been working hard, he keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. Get that man a PS5. All right. Get that man a PS5 or a new gaming computer or whatever it is that he's into, man. Me personally, the entire manga box sets of all of One Piece. That's there. I'm gonna just leave that up, for everyone to bless me. But yeah, man, it's not unlawful to to earn and gain money and things like that. It's absolutely not. Again, the issue with our people is the sick obsession and the covetousness and majority of the use and gathering of the funds, right? Our people put a lot of time and effort and idolize money instead of putting the Most High first and just letting Him add those things unto us, right? That's the main issue. Anime figures are not bad to have. I wouldn't say so. I don't know why. You ain't bound down and worshiping them, are you? Now, me personally, I'm not really big on figurines like that. I mean, if it's dope and if it gives like a glow, like if it lights up and it's got an ambiance, I'll probably add it up in there. You know what I'm saying? See, Malak, y'all see, look, it's a card. North Kingdom always trying to box somebody, bro. I ain't even mad at you. Hey man, Malak, y'all stop. Don't just stop at the gloves, brother. You gotta have a new heavy bag. You gotta have a speed bag to go with them gloves, man. Right? You need that, right? But yeah, there's nothing wrong with figurines. If you're not now, if it's a idol, yeah, absolutely not. No, don't do that. Like, but action figure, this is like a collectible or something like that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with getting like a little collectible thing. There's some I don't know if y'all seen it, but there's a movie that came out a couple years ago called 40-Year-Old Version. Who was the actor? Steve Carell was like the main character. He was the 40-year-old version, right? He collected a bunch of toys and stuff like that all his life, and he sold those things because they had such value that he could actually sell them and make a very nice profit from it. And there's a lot of people who collect toys and things like that, collectibles, and resell them years later in order to turn that profit. That's something that you can do, right? It's not unlawful to do. Again, now if you know you're getting the idol, now you're going off. But we talking about anime characters, man. We talking about anime, all right? But yeah, there's nothing wrong with doing these things, right? But as men, there's something that we ought to do. It's a good thing for us to do this, right? Watch this. This is Proverb. Oh, is it done? Download. There it is. There it is. This is Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 22. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children. That's something that we ought to do as men. This is something that we should strive to do. We should want our children, when they grow up, if it's not our direct children, our grandchildren, whatever it is, we should want our generations down the line to start off in a better financial position than when we did, man. That's something that we should want to have happen, right? And again, why are we doing this lesson? I've seen a couple of times where it's led to believe that once you're in the truth, you got to be a bum, this, that, and the third is. Look, man, you got to strive to be better in all facets of life, right? The Most High, of course, He can take you from a lower state to a higher state, and from a higher state to a lower state. Absolutely, what He does is what He does, and there's nothing that we can do about it. That's a cold hard fact. That said, we got to operate in the realm that we operate in, right? We got to try to put ourselves in a position to where generations down the line, if we got to be here that long, they got to be in a better position than where we was at. Hey, hey, see, you know what? Malak, y'all, what's up, man? What city you in, man? What city is you in, y'all? What's up? All right, because you over here pulling precepts that we about to go into. Granted, it's not Jeremiah 32, but it's close. It's close, man. All right. But again, we should want to do this, especially as men. As men, we should want to give our families something they and whatnot. We definitely got brothers in Chicago area. Uh, we got brothers in Detroit. Well, I don't know exactly how far that is. See again. You call him a precept. You call him. Hey man, you if you ain't in contact with a Sicarii camp in your area, man. Look again. You still call it the same precept. Okay, you call it the precept. All right, but again, man, I need you to get in contact. With some Sicarii members in your area if you haven't already, man. I need this man to start taking the courses. He already pulling precepts, man. He powerful brother. All right. So yeah, let's read this again. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. Right? Because what is the wealth of a sinner? Right? Goods gotten unjustly, right? Nah, man. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children, right? And that's something that is, as men in the truth, if we got wives, children, or something that we plan to get at one point, we should strive to want to leave them with something when the Most High calls us up. That's something that we should want to do. All right. Now to go to the precept and the verse that Malachi outside was talking about. Let me see. Matthew 25:26. His Lord answered and said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knowest that I reap where I sowed not, and gathereth where I have strawed not. Again, now, of course, contextually, that's talking about something different. That's talking about, multiplying your talents and things like that. But again, being slothful. You can't be slothful out here, man. In us building up, wealth and righteousness, putting the Most High first, you put yourself in a better position financially to really be able to push this word in truth and sincerity, right? If you're a content creator and you're in the truth and you need better equipment and you want to use your platform to push this truth, hey man, you can't be slothful. You equipment so that way you can present this truth in a better fashion, right? It's something that's got to be done, right? Watch this. Powerful precept, by the way. Powerful precept. This man want to call it a precept before I even pull it. This guy. And just for context, this is Jeremiah 29 and verse 1. Now, these are the words of the letter that Jeremiah the prophet sent from Jerusalem unto the residue of the elders, which were carried away captives, and the priests and the prophets to all the people whom Nebuchadnezzar had carried away captive from Jerusalem to Babylon. Quick side note. We all know that Nebuchadnezzar was a Babylonian. Today's Babylonians would be better known as the Ethiopians. Hey man, I got like 3 pennies guaranteeing that Nebuchadnezzar's forehead was huge. I'm talking like he had like a 20 head. It takes like 2 to 3 hands. It takes 4 of what's that dude's name? Odell Beckham Jr. Big old hands. It takes like 4 of them just to cover his whole forehead. I guarantee and I stand by it, man. I bet you Nebuchadnezzar had a big ass forehead. All right. Now watch this. Verse 4. Jeremiah 29 and verse 4. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the God of Israel. Salakia. Unto all that are carried away captives, whom I have caused to be carried away from Jerusalem unto Babylon. Where are we at right now? We in Babylon. Babylon the Great. Mystery Babylon. Right? Verse 5. Build ye houses and dwell in them, and plant gardens and eat the fruit of them. Take ye wives and beget sons and daughters, and take wives for your sons, and give your daughters to husbands, that they may bear sons and daughters, that ye may be increased there and not diminish. And seek the peace of the city, whether I have caused you to be carried away captives, and pray unto Yahweh for it, for in the peace thereof ye shall have peace. In captivity, he told us to operate as we would build a house, plant a garden, right? Take wives, have children. You have to be in some form of fashion financially stable to do these things. In some form of fashion, you have to have your finances in order to accomplish these things. And he told us to do it. He didn't say while you're in captivity, be poor, be a bum, things of that nature. Now, I'm not saying that just because you don't have money means you're a bum. A lot of times our people are put into predicaments that it's hard to get out of. It truly is. And sometimes there's nothing that we can do about it in all realness of the situation. Sometimes we're just in that situation, in that predicament. But that's where it takes us as a nation of people to attempt to reach out and try to help one another. While also on that same note, our people need to put that pride aside and actually ask for help sometimes. Right? Like I said, just because you don't have money or you in a situation doesn't automatically make you a bum, but it's those of us that willingly want to be a bum is the issue, simply because they're in the truth. Most I said, build a house, plant a garden, get wives, have children. I'm pretty sure if you have a wife and children, you don't want them out on the street struggling. You want them to be taken care of. You want to give them the world. You want to make sure that they're in a safe dwelling place where your children can grow and giggle, get on your nerves, right? I'm pretty sure you want if you got wives and children and whatnot, you want to be sitting on your couch or on the bed, and the remote is sitting like 3 inches away from you. You call one of your children all the way on the other side of the room. They're in the middle of taking a nap, doing some homework, talking to somebody on the phone. In the middle of a Call of Duty death match or something, or team death match, whatever it is. And then I gotta come up and like, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, hand me that remote. And then they have to feel that same struggle that we felt when being asked to hand somebody the remote and the remote was 3 inches away from them. You got to be financially stable for that to happen, all right? Let's see what you got, Tribe of Issachar. Proverbs 21:25-26. The desire of the slothful killeth him, for his hands refuse to labor. Yep. He covereth greedily all the day long. He coveteth greedily all the day long, but the righteous giveth and spareth not, which is true. A lot of people want to be lazy and just be giving stuff. Nah, last time I checked, we supposed to be working by the sweat of our brow. It is what it is, but that's what we under. That's what we gotta do. Shalom, powerful officer, Rama Mathbun, lawyer, man. All right, powerful officer in the chat. But yeah, man, you can't be slothful in this. You got to actually put forth effort. And if you plan on taking wives and children, this is speaking to the men right now. You ought to want to give your future generation some form of an inheritance when you leave this earth, right? To at least set them up to where when you gone, they're not in debt, impoverished, or struggling. Leave them with something. That's something that as men we should strive for, right? And even as a nation of people, we talk about buy black, sell black, and this, that, and the third. But how often are we actually practicing group economics? Again, just because you're in this truth and we know that this place is, going to be destroyed by the power of the Most High God, it doesn't mean that we ought to be a bum until that day, right? At least put yourself in a situation to where you can at least help your fellow brother and sister, right? Or at least your immediate family. At least put yourself in a position where you yourself can be comfortable, right? And present yourself properly, right? Now watch this. Now before I get to the last precepts here, I want to show y'all something, right? Because again, we started off in the beginning going to the main precepts people like to use, or those of us in truth like to use to say, see, money's evil, this, that, and the third, right? But again, it's not money that's evil, it's the love of money that is evil. Now, I went to Google. Granted, I did search niggas with money. That's what I searched. I searched niggas with money. And this is what I found. Niggas with money. That's what I found, man. This is what happens. Look, you got 50 in the corner over here, young 50. It's always look at this, man. This is what majority of our people are like with money. This is what that love of money looks like. Right? Just got stacks of blues for no apparent reason, man. Look at this. Like for real. But this is what our people aspire to be. This is what our people love to do, man. When they chase that money. Oh, it's a whole gift. Look at it. He on the phone talking to money, and then the other arm he talking to money. He's talking to money. He in there, he talking to that money, man. That's what he doing. Right? Look at the man. He said, I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? But this is our people with money. Look at this. Almost every theme of every song is what? Sex, money, and drugs. That's most of today's quote unquote rap music. Sex, money, and drugs, man. If you can rap about these three things, you making a hit song. Right? Madness. Absolute madness. And it just keeps going. Like, bruh, for real? Like that, like what is the point of this? Right? It don't make no sense, but this is how our people are portrayed when it comes to wanting that money, chasing that bag, right? Look at this. Even one of my favorite rappers. Now, I don't know if this is a quote. It might be. Rom, you can quote me on this if Drake actually said this, but what did he say next to this picture? Niggas with no money act like money isn't everything. Again, I don't know if Drake actually said this. Rom, let me know if this is what he actually said. But yeah, man. Look at that. Look at this. You got this. You got this Futurama meme. So what? Look at this. You got Buzz. Come on, man. Come on, man. Look at, and the memes getting on people who don't keep up with the Joneses is ridiculous. Look at this. Seriously? Come on, man. They done perverted one of the best songs in all of SpongeBob, the striped sweater song, right? But again, you see how people treat each other when someone doesn't have as much finances or accumulated as much money as them. We degrade each other for it, right? But this is our people, right? And our women are just as bad, man, right? What's the phrase that a lot of women be saying today? If you broke, just say that. Well, hey, look, I'll be the first to tell you. You know, just like how Big L said it. I'm not poor. I'm poor. I can't afford the other OR, man. It is not possible. All right. It just gets worse the more and more that you go. Look at that. I guarantee you this is somebody that did this. I guarantee you there's really got a brother or sister, somebody laying in the casket, come up, I want my money, nigga. I guarantee you somebody did this. I guarantee it, man. We always going at, hey man, where my money at, man? We're not even supposed to do that. That's unlawful. If you let somebody borrow some money from you, you're not supposed to be on them to repay you, right? You know, you let them pay you in time, they pay you back the money that they borrow from you plus the fifth part. It is what it is. But look at this. This is what our people are concerned with is money. Like it's absolutely ridiculous. I think that's really it on that one. Yeah. This is again, this is our people, man. This is our people. Again, it's not the money itself, it's our people's sick obsession with money. That's the issue. All right, now let's get this last precept, man. Because again, I'm just gonna close this because that every time that's just depressing. Again, that was a Google search. That was a Google search. Watch this. The book of Matthew, chapter 6 and verse 16. Moreover, when ye fast, be not as the hypocrites of a sad countenance, for they disfigure their faces, that they may appear unto men to fast. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. Verse 17, but thou, when thou fastest, anoint thine head and wash thy face, that thou appear not unto men to fast, but unto thy Father which is in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust corrupt, and where thieves do not break through or steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. So our people's, you know, their treasure are the treasures of this earth is the money, the cars, the clothes, the hoes, the physical attachments of things, and the accumulation of money and pseudo wealth. That's where our people's heart is. That's where their treasure is. And that's why That's why you can do a Google search of niggas with money and we see what we just saw, right? But instead, our treasure needs to be wanting to make it to the kingdom of heaven, to please the Most High God, so that way we have a chance. So that way we can get up out of here, man. If your heart, your mind is with the Most High, then everything else will be added unto you, man. It's point blank and simple, right? Then again, like the entire theme of this stream is it's not money that's the evil. It's our people's sick love and obsession with the money that is evil. Understand that, right? But with that, I want to give Call Halal Abanaw Yahweh Bahashem Mashiach, as well as, make sure, to like, subscribe, share, right? Make sure to go to, Urban Gorilla, go to urbangorilla.com. That's URBNGRLA.com. Make sure to go to For the Nation, right? Make sure to do all these things, man. Hit up deaconsicari.com as well for your head wraps and your children's Bibles, man. All right. And make sure, you put yourself in a position for yourself and for your family. All right. But again, I want to give Call Halal Abanaw Yahweh Bahashem Mashiach Malaki Shai. Shalom.